spooky episode of Not Just Lashes.
So one of my horror stories, spooky, there was this like green tail coming from underneath the sink. So I texted the front desk girl and I said, get in here. Last time there was a spider in her face. This time there's an alligator inside my room.
Well, my next story, I like to call dead asleep because I had a weird moment with a client. I was not sure what was going to come out of her mouth.
That's wild.
And then she just stopped talking.
So yes.
Shanique was like, let's get a facial.
And I tried to open my eyes. I couldn't open my eyes. I had to go to the ER. I could hear everything that was going on. And the nurses and the doctors were screaming at her saying, you know better. Where they go, and then bring you to life. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I went there.
Yeah.
That happened to me, and they were yelling and screaming, and I was like inside panicking low key because I'm like, am I gonna die?
Course, yeah.
Like nobody's here for me. Like I'm all alone. Like
I have a spooky story about the ghost at Glam Spa.
Not just lashes.
You're listening to Not Just Lashes. Here are your hosts, Shannique and Dixie.
Hello.
hi.
Welcome to a spooky episode of Not Just Lashes. I'm Dixie.
I'm Shannique.
And it's time to gather around. Let's set the scene of a fire. And you're at camp. And we're going to tell you some lash horror stories. Or
Yes.
beauty. We're diving deep into the shadows of the beauty underworld. Things that go wrong. Just
Yes.
spooky things.
Yes, spooky stories.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
one
so
of-
Shannique.
Yeah, oh my gosh. So one of my horror stories, spooky. When I was first starting out in my business, I had this repeat client. Okay, so she would get facials, eyelashes, what have you, just everything.
Mm-hmm.
But the first time she came in, I was doing a facial on her, and she opens her eyes, and there's a spider from the ceiling dangling, like seriously, right in front of her. And like, I must have came down fast because I didn't see it. And then she opened her eyes, and I was like, oh my God. Okay. So that was first time
spider comes.
Spider.
Mm-hmm.
So it scared me. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Didn't think too much of it, right?
Yeah, you're like, that was gross.
That was gross. Whatever. Sorry about that. I didn't see him coming. Second time, there was this like green tail coming from underneath the sink. And I was like, oh my God, there's an alligator.
Little alligator.
There's like a little alligator like inside my room. So I texted the front desk girl and I said, get in here. Last time there was a spider in her face. This time there's a fucking alligator inside my room.
She's never coming back.
She's never coming back. So then the front desk girl came in, tiptoed, was quiet. And then she's like, ow. And it was like, I don't know, the lizard was ginormous. And it was like hanging like with its teeth like stuck on her fingers.
Stop. It bit her?
It bit her. And so then my client saw. And she goes, oh my God, like that was wild. And I've never seen anything like it. That's never happened to me. I don't know where it came from. Just weird.
Yeah.
Okay, third time around. You guys, it gets better. It
What
just
happens?
does.
Tell me. What's the third of the plagues?
Bees. Bees came in. I don't know, like, what on earth is
A
going on?
swarm of bees?
Maybe like 5.
No.
That's a swarm.
Yeah.
That's swarm enough for me.
Aren't you allergic?
No, I don't know if I'm allergic. I'm terrified of bees because I've never been stung. So I'm just like, please, just do your sweet thing and leave me alone. But anywho, she changed. I was going to do service on her, bees. And finally I was like, what's going on? Are you bringing in these critters? Are you bringing, like, I don't understand, like, help me, like, what's going on? And because I was like, am I being punked? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
Every time brings back
every
something.
time
Yeah.
that she would come in, something weird would happen. So then she goes, you know what? I'm going to share something with you. And I said, okay.
Take a seat.
And she's like, I've been cursed. And the person who cursed me said that I would have bugs, insects, like reptiles follow me. And I was like, what the? Yeah, like, what the fuck? Because I was like, oh my God.
Well, the fact that she said that a lizard has never, like, she's like, that's weird that a lizard's there. Like, she knew.
She knew. She had to have known. Yeah, she did. She knew.
Did she tell you why she was cursed?
She said that she was a bitch in her past.
In her past?
In her past.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So some person from her past was like, you're
curse
going down.
you. Yeah, exactly. So after we did that, I was like, you know what? I think I gave her a number to like some medium or something. And I said, you need help. You need help. You need to figure out what's going on. Yes. Cleanse something. And then she came one more time. Mm-hmm. And I was like prepared. I had bug spray. I had a net. I had, backup ladies, like just in case, like I'm not crazy.
Animal control on the speed dial.
Yes. Fire department, the usual. Mm-hmm. So anyways, I did a peel on her and I was looking and looking. Oh my God.
No.
Yeah. Wait. She had a reaction to the freaking peel. I gave her like, her skin turned brown, like right around her top lip, and I gave her a mustache.
You made her a bearded dragon. She became the lizard.
That was probably her final like round. And I was like, at that point, I can't service you anymore. I have no idea what's going on. It was the most craziest thing.
Well, it's good.
Scary.
And I'm glad that it the curse didn't like rub off on you.
Yes, I know. But you know me, I'm always like, ooh, sage, get out of here. Evil spirits, you may be gone. Yeah,
you remember the one, the witch?
Yes.
And I was working the front desk, and there was this client who was, into, spiritual, stuff. Malibu. So, I didn't really take it seriously. More Crystal World.
Yes.
But I don't know. She didn't like me or something. And this is when I was working the front desk. I was minding my own business. Just sitting at my computer. And backstory, it takes a lot for me to puke. I'm not.
You're not a puker.
I can't. I wish I could sometimes because I know it would make me feel better.
Right.
But I just say I can't. So I'm sitting at my desk and she walks in. I was like, oh, hi, how are you? She was waiting for Shannique. She was sitting across the room. And all of a sudden I was like, I'm going to puke. And I had to go.
But the way she looked at you though.
Yeah, there's something funky.
It was demonic. It got quiet and everybody in the salon disappeared. And her eyes were just looking at her like she wanted to kill her.
It was definitely an eerie.
Yes.
It did quiet down. It was just her and me, and Shannique was in the other room. And and I ran to the bathroom, threw up, and I'm pretty sure she cursed me for a second or did some voodoo, because that was so random. I didn't eat anything weird. It was a normal day.
But, okay, so why would she curse you? Do you remember why?
I don't know why people curse me. I'm a good person.
So you did something, a post for her or something, and she was like, oh, Dixie didn't post, my whatever she was selling at the time. And I think she got mad at the fact that we took it down to re-edit it. Something in that nature.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, she didn't do it on purpose. And she thought it was on purpose.
Yeah, because I'm just out to get people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dixie is.
Mm-hmm. You can tell.
So watch out.
Mm-hmm. My witchy.
But that was creepy.
That was. Mm-hmm. So I don't mess with. If someone says that they're into that stuff, I'm just very nice.
Yes. Oh my God, that was so fun. That was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we've had some cursed clients and then curses upon us almost.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Well, my next story I like to call Dead Asleep because I had a weird moment with a client. It's normal for people when they're getting their lashes done. I don't know how they do it. I wish I could fall asleep. But a lot of people fall asleep. A lot of people snore. Mm-hmm. That's my number one question. Do people snore all the time?
All the time.
You're on your back. You're just going to snore. And it's okay. I'm not trying to sleep.
It's okay to snore.
Yeah. But this person, we were in... she sits down, we start chatting, I'm doing her lashes, and actually she's someone who talks throughout the whole appointment. So she's never fallen asleep on me. And I'm doing her lashes. We're in conversation. And the conversation kind of died off, but, you know, it was like a second flip. And all of a sudden, she's like, starts spelling her name.
Oh, that's weird.
And I'm like, does she want me to write this down? Like, what?
Stop. Should I be taking notes?
It's like, okay. And then it just started saying, she just kept going, no, stop. And I was like, me? Like, should I? And I'm like looking around my room. Like, and then it turned into a soft whisper.
Oh my God.
And it was just like, no, I told you not to. And I was like, what is happening?
You're like, who's coming through? Which one are you?
You're like,
does she have multiple personalities? Like,
it was very good.
Oh my God.
But then, and we were in a conversation before, so I was like trying to talk back, but didn't know how to like react. And then I was confused because it sounded like she was about to confess something because she was like, I'll tell you. I know, like, she's like, just don't, like, like, she was making sense. Like, I was not sure what was going to come out of her mouth.
That's wild.
And then she just stopped talking. Ooh. And then
you're like, go on.
Yeah, I was
tell
like,
me more.
Yeah. and then it just ended. And so I just kept lashing, and then her appointment was over, and she was like, "Hey, how's it going?" Like normal. This is totally. And then she asked me. The only thing she asked me was, "Did I spell my name to you?" And I was like, "You did." Ooh. And she's like, "Oh." No explanation. Oh. And I know just. Oh.
Like she does this everywhere she goes.
Yeah, she's like, I must have fallen asleep. But we were in mid-conversation, and you just plunked out. Yeah. To me, it reminded me of a seance, if you will. You know, chatting to the spirit world, letting them in or something, and all of a sudden be like, the new person's in my body.
Oh, definitely.
Because it didn't even talk like her either. And I realized that now it's because she was probably sleeping. But
maybe. We don't know for
very
sure.
creepy at first when I was lashing
Oh my
her.
God, that would freak me out too.
Yeah. I was like, just don't. And then I know that you're not supposed to wake people if they're like sleep talking or walking. Yeah. But it took me a while to even realize, honestly, that she was sleeping. Because it sounded like a regular conversation that just turned dark.
Well, next time she talks, just record it and, be like, hey, yeah, we had a conversation. So one of my scary stories, horror stories, this was maybe like 15 years ago. Okay. Eyelashes were starting to pick up. And I had these two gals from Hollywood come all the way to Thousand Oaks because every place that they went to, they couldn't take off their lashes. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, what is this? And it almost looked like strips glued with like Gorilla Glue. Like something wasn't right. Something wasn't right.
Well, the fact that they've been to so many places and they can't get them off.
They can't get them off. No. So I was trying everything to remove them. Nothing was happening. And I said, okay, girls, look, where did you go? They went somewhere cheap, extremely cheap. Yeah. It was like $50 for a full set. And the girls, they went back to those people and they said, we can't take our eyelashes off. And they told the two girls, oh, good. They're not supposed to come off.
They're there forever and ever, and they will haunt you in your sleep.
I was like, what? No. I was like, wait a minute. They must know what they're doing. They have to know what they're doing. But why would they do that if it's $50? It just made no sense, right? It made no sense. So I said we could do one thing. We could cut your eyelashes and just... as they grow out, you cut. And they said, you know what? If that's what we need to do, then that's what we need to do. I was terrified. I couldn't even help them.
That is a horror story.
I did not charge them
I would rather have
anything.
an allergic reaction.
Yeah, exactly. So what I did was I took some samples. I cut from their eyelashes from each girl. And at the time, I took it to the lab that the company that I worked for.
Ooh, so you're being like a mad scientist.
I'm being a mad scientist because I'm dying to know. I'm dying. like what the hell? So anyways, we figured out what it was. One was dental glue.
No.
Dental glue that they use. And then the other gal had...
they used two different... It wasn't
two different things, yeah. Dental glue, and the other one was like some kind of like cementy paste.
That's
scary.
horrible.
That is scary. So,
Somebody
you know,
did
it's
that to
so
someone's
important
eyes.
that you guys do your research and know where you're going, know what you're getting into, ask a million questions, because nobody wants to have dental glue. I mean...
Did they go to the ER, the doc? Like what?
No. And I said, look, this is what you need to do. You need to go talk to these women or call a state board, call the business bureau. Like, this is not healthy. This is not good. I don't even know how they're hanging on still. So,
dental.
Yes.
Oh.
Why would they go to those lengths? I don't know. Is it cheaper to get dental glue? Are they best friends with a dentist and a guy
it sounds like they were just like grabbing any type of like glue that they thought was strong. I have no idea. Or maybe they're the mad scientist and they were experimenting. You know, like, ooh, we want these to hold on forever and ever.
Oh my God.
You will take these lashes to your grave.
Yeah, and they blame these, this salon. So I have no idea, but that scared me enough to dive deep.
So please do your research before going somewhere.
Yes.
Because you never know.
You never know.
Yeah. Oof. Look at the chills from that one. Right. So,
yes.
Another story that already sounds spooky in itself is the vampire facial. I don't know if anybody out there has done it before, but what a vampire facial is taking your own blood and spinning it and then putting it back into your face.
Yes.
And that helps with youth
and building collagen. And so
Shannique was like, let's get a vampire facial.
I did.
Yep.
So at the time I was working with a plastic surgeon and he had me do a vampire facial. I was the guinea pig, basically. And so the gal was numbing my face. She put numbing cream all over my face. And then she put Reynolds wrap, the plastic wrap, all over my face. And I was like, God, what's going on? Ugh, I could barely breathe. Like, what's going on? And I tried to open my eyes. I couldn't open my eyes. She came in. She took off the wrap. And she's like, oh my God, are you okay?
She got scared.
Like, she got scared. You guys, I had to go to the ER.
I got a text.
I wasn't breathing and I couldn't see. And they had to like freaking, like Pulp Fiction where they go and then bring you to life. Yeah, I went there.
Yeah.
That happened to me.
From a vampire facial.
I went into anaphylactic shock and I was really like flatlining. And she was out in the lobby and I could hear everything that was going on. And the nurses and the doctors were screaming at her saying, you know better. Like whatever you put on her face, it must have been multiple different kinds of numbing cream, not just one numbing cream. It was like probably 5 different kinds. I have no idea. And they were yelling and screaming. And I was like inside panicking low key because I'm like, am I going to die?
Course, yeah.
Like nobody's here for me. Like I'm all alone. Like,
did she drive you to the hospital?
She did.
Remember. Yeah, she did.
She did. And they were just like, how could you not have, number 1, an EpiPen, number 2, Benadryl, number 3, what were you doing this? Like, how long did it take her to get a reaction? And she had no idea.
Yeah.
Were you watching her? So she got schooled. And, Yeah. So did I technically get a vampire facial? No, we really didn't go there. I just
She
got the
attempted a vampire facial.
Yeah, I just got the numbing cream and that was it. So again, do your research. Do your research, really dig deep and find out, like, actually, if you are allergic to different numbing creams, and ask questions like, what are you putting on my face? Have you done this before?
Patch tests,
like anything, because you could die. And
and the photo of Shannique's face was scary.
My God. I don't know who that person is. It's like my face caved in.
No, like, it was swollen, and then your eyes, you barely had eyes. Like, it was scary. I remember all you did was send me the photo, and when I'm in the ER, I'm like, what?
Yes. I was like, I may be dying. I have no idea.
And just sent me the photo. I'm like, what is happening now? Like, you looked like a monster.
I felt like a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the most scariest thing ever that happened to me.
Yeah.
In, trying to do a facial.
Yeah.
A treatment. So, yeah, I mean, when they say beauty is pain, don't go that far, okay? Like, it's not worth it.
No, your life is not worth it. I don't even remember. How long were you in the hospital for?
A few hours.
Yeah. And then
they wanted me to be able to see.
Yeah.
And open
because
my eyes.
When you went back home, you were still like...
my head was like ginormous. Yeah.
And then you were on bed rest for a while? Like, did you...
Yeah, for a couple of days, because they just wanted to make sure, like, it wouldn't react, or,
scary.
that I wouldn't have, like, I don't know, anything happen to me. So, yeah.
Very scary.
So scary. Mm-hmm. Never did it again.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
No, you want to try it? And I would never do it on somebody. Like, it's not worth it for me to do treatment like that on someone. Like, after that, I'm like,
yeah, no.
I don't want to touch you.
I would not want to send someone to the hospital.
No.
Yeah.
What other scary stories do you have?
Well, I have a spooky story about the ghost at Glam Spa. I don't know if you've had any encounters with the ghost.
No, I haven't personally, but I feel like everyone else has, and I don't know why. Maybe because I'm not there, like, late at night.
Yeah, like a couple of us girls.
When does it come out?
Late, like after 6 or so. So this is Kelly's ghost story of interacting with the ghost, but this one's like the freakiest in my opinion. So, like, I would be there late at night, lashing in my room, and you'd hear like a knock or like something going on, and then I would just assume it's the cleaning crew outside in the bathrooms, or But yeah, sometimes you just kind of got like a spooky, eerie feeling, but you're like, is this like my brain like playing tricks on me? But then Kelly one time was lashing later at night, and it was her and her client, and they heard the front door open to the spa. So the spa is in a building, and so there's a hallway that leads to the front door of the spa itself, and then there's the lobby area, and then everybody has their individual rooms around the lobby area. And so she could hear the front door open and close. No. So she heard it open, and her client heard it too, and so they're both like, like nobody wanted to say anything, like,
And knowing Kelly, she doesn't even want to look.
No. And then, they thought they heard somebody out there, and then they were like, okay, maybe one of the other girls had a client. And then her door was closed, and she saw the door handle move as if someone was opening it and open the door a crack, right? So it like, and then that's when Kelly was like, well, her client's eyes are closed, so she's just hearing all these noises, and Kelly's like, I gotta keep this together. And so she looked, no one was out there. Not in the hallway, not in the lobby area, like nowhere to be, found. And then she goes back in the room, and I guess she kept the door open. Not like fully open, but just like a crack. And it closed. And then like the handle like jiggled.
What on earth?
And then Kelly like quickly finished up with her client and was like, okay. And then she ran out with her client.
Oh my God, that's wild.
And the client could feel that like something, she was like, was there a person? And she's like, no, I'm just here.
Oh my gosh. And they had another one recently.
Oh, recently?
Oh, yes. Okay, it was maybe around 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And apparently my phone was charging. Okay. And I had no idea. Well, all I saw was SOS, SOS, SOS from Kelly and Ashley.
Oh, geez.
And my heart started, I was like, oh my God, what's going on?
Yeah,
like,
someone
I'm
like
freaking
breaking
out.
in.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is it? Okay. And Shannique, and the way that they texted was scary though. Shannique, ... Again, Shannique, ... It was like a movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, tell me what's going on. Will you like stop this SOS and help?
And I'm usually pranking you, so you're like, what did I do?
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, what's going on? There's somebody at the door. There's somebody at the door. And like they're blocking the door. They're blocking the door. It's a bunch of guys. And I'm like, it's probably like the cleaning crew, blah, blah, blah. So I'm looking at the camera and I'm like, oh my God, somebody is. And I saw like their shadows, 2 shadows, and it looks like they were blocking the door. And so then I'm like screaming on the intercom.
To the Ring camera.
Hey, move out. I didn't know what to say, what to do. And I'm like, get
You
out of
sound
the
very
way.
intimidating.
Yes. I'm like, oh my God, get out of the way. I'm dead. And the guys are like, whoa, what? And then I saw this like big round shadow and I'm like, oh my God, what is that? They're blocking the door. So anyway, so they moved it. So basically it was just like their shadows of the cleaning crew and they were just standing there and their big trash can looked like they were blocking the door. And I felt so bad.
You're just yelling at these guys.
Because I'm yelling at these guys.
You were scared as an intruder or the Glam Spa ghost. You had no idea.
I was terrified. And the girls scared, I think the girls scared me more than what was actually happening. But getting those late night SOS, signals, I was like, oh my God, I got to save my girls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So anyway, so then from that point on, the cleaning crew has come at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m.
The witching hours.
Because I screamed at them.
They're like, we're not going there when
No, they don't want to go there when the girls are there late now. They're like boss lady screaming on the intercom.
Aww.
I don't know.
Poor guys.
But I want to apologize right now.
them.
Yes, I want to apologize. Cleaning crew.
We thought you were a ghost.
Thought you were a ghost. We thought you were intruders. The girls thought that you were going to kidnap them. Okay. So
It happens.
It happens.
At least
Yeah.
you were, on alert.
I
and
was
now
on
they
alert.
know. Like, don't mess with Shannique. The wizard behind the camera.
The wizard behind the camera.
Who goes there?
Who goes there? That's so funny.
Yeah. Well, I freaked out the girls too, because after this experience with the Glam Spa ghost, like when I am lashing, I have my iPad playing music. And then when I leave, I usually am listening to a podcast in my car or something. So sometimes I forget to turn off my music because I usually, if I get in my car and I start Spotify, then it takes it off the iPad. But then lately I've been listening to my podcast when I get in my car. So it keeps
laughing.
going. Yeah. So there's so many moments where it's Ashley alone or Kelly alone and they just hear faint music. And my lights are all off, the lights are all off, and they're like locking up and they just hear this.
Like voices, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But no, it wasn't the Glam Spa ghost, it was me.
That is so funny.
But I have had Alexa randomly turn on and start playing music randomly when I'm like locking up.
Alexa, she likes to be a prankster.
Yeah.
She likes to spook us. Mm-hmm. And she gets on her moods too.
Oh yeah, she won't listen to you sometimes.
She won't listen to
No.
you. Mm-mm. So we
Alexa's kind of we got beef. I don't know what it went down, but like she won't listen to me sometimes.
Yeah, no.
Like,
She doesn't. She'll say the weirdest things too. Or like the news will pop on. I'm like, I I didn't even say that. Yeah, she's messed up. She's a little kooky.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
That's okay. She goes with Glam Spa and the kookiness.
Yeah. Well,
that is all our spooky tales.
Yeah, we're not going to tell. Yeah, for now. We have so much more to tell you, but we'll save it for next time. But thank you for listening or watching or
happy
both.
Halloween.
Happy Halloween. And you can find us on Spotify,
Apple Podcast,
YouTube,
Instagram at Not Just Lashes Podcast.
Yes. Okay.
And if you liked the episode, subscribe,
follow, all of that.
Goodbye.